Hello, everyone. Welcome to those here and those online to this very special Professionalism Award event. This is really a special time of year. Commencement's coming up, and for really the seventh time, 6 years ago, we started having Professionalism Week as a time when we celebrate professionalism in Larner College of Medicine. To remind you, this statement was developed by a diverse group of students, both medical and graduate student, faculty, house staff, and students, faculty, and staff. Most important, staff. To come up with a statement that reflects our core values and to just state it once out loud. Our Larner College of Medicine community upholds the highest standards of professionalism as we follow our passion for lifelong learning and improvement. We demonstrate professionalism through integrity, accountability, compassion, altruism, and social responsibility. We honor the trust our society has placed in us as stewards of the art and science of medicine, relying on cultural humility, kindness, and respect to guide our daily interactions. We expect all members of our community to embrace these principles of professionalism as we strive to conduct and support patient care, research, and education that are second to none. It stood the test of time, hasn't it? And this week, we have the opportunity to celebrate the fact that in 2019, we had our first Professionalism Day. It became a week. And who knew what would happen after May of 2019? But we were certainly challenged. And at that time, we saw resilience, innovation, and appreciation of our community that we see every day, but it was especially important during that difficult period. And even as things get challenging now, we can always fall back on our core values, which will not change. Our Larner community is filled with faculty, staff, medical students, and graduate students who demonstrate the principles of professionalism every day across every facet of this college. And today we get to recognize people representing each of these four groups. So in March, I put out a call for nominations for these awards to our entire community. And wow, did you all respond. This year, we received the most ever in terms of nominations, a total of 217, representing, there you go, representing individuals from our campus here in Burlington, as well as the branch campus in Connecticut, where I believe we have people tuned in even today. Now, we have a nominations review committee that's highly professional. In part, it's populated by prior recipients of the Professionalism Award, and they reviewed the nominations that were provided. I'm really grateful for the work of this committee and the time they took to review all these nominations. And as much as anything, I want to thank you all for the fact that so many nominations were provided. It really makes a difference, and it's kind of fun to do it, isn't it? So today we get to spread a little sunshine as we acknowledge all of these nominees. Now, to tell you a little bit more about the committee and its work, it's my pleasure to introduce this year's committee chair, a past recipient of the Faculty Professionalism Award, Dr. Brian Kim, who's Chief of Ophthalmology in the Department of Surgery, the Elliott W. Shipman Professor of Ophthalmology, and as I mentioned, the 2023 recipient of the Dean's Faculty Award for Professionalism. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kim.
Thank you, Dean Page. It's really an honor to be here again. I had the great pleasure of working with the team of previous Professionalism awardees to select this year's recipients. Members of this year's selection committee included Callan Gravel-Pachillo, the 2024 Medical Student Award recipient, Ryan Hunt, the 2024 Graduate Student Award recipient, Kyla Leary, the 2024 Staff Award recipient, Melissa Cuke, the 2023 Staff Award recipient, and Dr. Catherine Walsh, who was a co-chair, who was a 2024 Faculty Award recipient. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention the incredible support I got from the Dean's office, from Vicki Gilwey and Liz Dorman. Really, without their work, none of this could have been done. You heard the number of applications or nominations. It was truly remarkable, and it was a great deal of work to go through that entire list. It's a great list to go through because you have to figure out which one of these unbelievable nominations you're going to bring forward. So we reviewed and ranked all the outstanding and inspiring nominations submitted by the members of our community, all of you. And after meeting to review the rankings, we recommended this year's awardees. Dean Page, are you ready to announce this year's award recipients? Great.
I've got to, before I do, I need to acknowledge my doctor, Dr. Kim. One day I said, Brian, I kind of got a funny spot here, and I'm seeing something, and you know, he thought this was kind of an anxious cardiologist, Dean, but he was so professional and indulgent, and he said, why don't you come up and see me? And a half hour later, he was playing Star Wars with my retina, and demonstrating not only his wonderful professionalism as well as his ability to keep me seeing 2020. So for that, I'm very grateful. The 217 nominations. That's amazing. Just think of that. Tell them I'm not here. The 217. Now, I'm going to acknowledge every one of those. I just want to emphasize something. We only give one student medical, one student graduate, one staff, and one faculty award. It's really hard to do what they did. But we're limiting it at one going forward for two reasons. One is if we do two, who knows, we'd be doing 30. But also, every one of these nominees should be acknowledged and will be acknowledged today. Now, if you're thinking we're going to be here all afternoon, we're not. We have a reception to go to. And it doesn't take long to say these names, but we're going to say each one aloud before we announce the recipient of the award. To keep us going, though, please hold your applause, okay? Hold your applause. As hard as it is, please hold your applause until we get to the end. And the other thing is, I did ask for pronunciation of the names. Many gave them to me, some didn't. I'm sometimes trip over my own tongue. I'm sorry for that. I will do my best to acknowledge each person and say their name as best I am able to do so. But if I don't do as good a job as I wish, please forgive me. So we're going to start out announcing the nominees for Medical Student Professionalism Award. There were 40 nominations. In alphabetical order: Haley Bain, Ty Bever, John or Jackson Burke, Avery Campbell, Bradford Clark, Viha Doe, Hannah Donovan, Heather Jagger, Shobhankar Joshi, Kristen Karpowitz, Thomas Kodod, Christina Kirk, Ben Corin, Jasmine Macias, Noah Mance, Tyler McGuire, Angela Mueller, Shelley Nair, Brian Wynn, Tim Wynn, Javier Rincon, Andrew Root, Ben Rubin, Angelo Russo, Shruti Sathana Krishna. Let me do it again. I practiced this. Shruti Shanana Krishnan, Adam Thompson, Lauren Tian, Dario Vanegas, Evie Wakeman, Abigail Wooton, and Sarah Young. Let's give them a round of applause. Every one of them. And I'm so pleased to announce this year's 2025 Dean's Medical Student Award for Professionalism is awarded to Javier Rincon. Virginia Ramirez, a fourth-year medical student who was nominated Javier, she couldn't be with us today, so I'm asking Dr. Kim to read Javier's nomination. Dr. Kim?
Thank you. And it's just one of the examples of the outstanding nominations that we got. Very obviously deserving recipient. So I'll read the nomination. Javier Rincon exemplifies professionalism through his unwavering commitment to service, integrity, and community involvement. His dedication to uplifting high school students through the Youth Academy for Latino Leaders reflects a deep sense of social responsibility. As the founder of the Academy, Javier has created a transformative space that empowers Latino youth to navigate academic and career pathways while addressing systemic barriers. This initiative is one of many ways he demonstrates compassion, altruism, and accountability. Javier's professionalism extends beyond the Academy. As a volunteer at free clinics, he consistently treats underserved patients with kindness and humility, always honoring their dignity and worth. He approaches each patient interaction with cultural humility and respect, working to build trust across cultural and socioeconomic lines. These experiences highlight not only his personal integrity, but also his commitment to upholding the trust society places in future healthcare professionals. Javier also actively collaborates with local nonprofits to lead community health initiatives, from food drives to mental health workshops and more. He has created meaningful partnerships between community organizations and academic institutions, creating sustainable collaborations that serve the broader public good. Importantly, Javier has invited classmates to join him in these efforts, offering them opportunities to build their own connections and experiences with the community. Through all of this, Javier sets a clear example of professionalism as both a personal standard and a collective responsibility. He embodies what it means to be a steward of the art and science of medicine, using his voice, leadership, and actions to serve humanity with integrity and purpose. His work not only uplifts the community, but also inspires those around him to live with empathy, kindness, and respect. Congratulations.
You and I are convert. Javier couldn't be here. He's at our Connecticut campus. There he is, Javier. I don't know if you can take it.
Hi, can you guys let me know if you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. It's an absolute pleasure and surprise to be here.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dean Page. It's an absolute pleasure and surprise to be here. When Dean Page called me, and by the way, if you're ever lucky enough to be nominated a part of this, he calls you to let you know you won. So when you see the dean call you and you see your caller ID, it's kind of surprising because, you know, is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? But it was an absolute shock. I had no idea I had been nominated or who had nominated me. I just learned now who had nominated me. I didn't know. And I'm not sure which one thing I did to get me nominated. I guess now I know, and I'm glad I did it because I'm here. First of all, let me thank Vicky and Bruce for allowing me to be here. Like Dean Page said, I'm currently on the Connecticut campus and I'm doing a rotation in the ICU. So they saved me a 10-hour drive by letting me do this remotely, and I really appreciate that. Although I think I could have really used the creamy, but I'll wait for that. But I honestly thank every time I'm at work that I'm a part of LCOM. And sometimes we don't realize how lucky we are to be where we are and why we ended up there. And being both at Burlington and coming here to Connecticut is one of the reasons that I see that. And you're just constantly surrounded by people that do amazing things. Like one of the reasons I can't believe that I got this, especially in my class of 2025, there are so many amazing people in that class that I don't know how I stood out. For example, I mean, in my class, we had professionally trained musicians from Juilliard. We had Olympic athletes, we had a decorated military fighter pilot, and some of these people were on that list of people that were nominated. So I don't know how I compare to those people. And they just do amazing things every day. Also our faculty, I mean, I got to personally work with Dr. Schumacher, Dr. Shikoski Kelly, Dr. Wells, Dr. Clemens, all these people that are doing amazing projects throughout the world, you know, in the US, in our community. And they just inspire us every day to be better. And so if I do anything that stands out or has helped people, I think it's because my classmates around me inspire me to be better every day. And for me, I think that's saying a lot because I'm definitely the old man on campus in my class. So to have all these younger students around me doing all these amazing things just lets me know that I need to step up and, you know, do the best that I can while being given the responsibility. It's just absolutely incredible to see what they do. And being here, the Connecticut campus, one of the things that we're afforded, that we're lucky to do, is that we're constantly on the floor with students from different schools as well. And I've had several people tell me that they can tell when the students on the service are UVM students because the difference in work is noticed. And I think the reason for that is because UVM not only, you know, selects or accepts students that are capable, we're here definitely because we're capable of doing the job, but they also emphasize that you embody those values that UVM emphasizes. So, you know, you have the accountability and the integrity to approach work the right way and do things the right reason. And those things come across when you're doing the job or have, you know, any interaction. And that's why people notice when UVM students are around. So I can only thank my classmates for pushing me to be better, my mentors and, you know, our teachers, and anyone in staff. That's just amazing examples, you know, of how to do this right. And it's amazing to be, you know, recognized for this award and just in this category, period. So thank you all. Thank you for letting me speak to you today. My colleagues, I'm gonna have to send Verge now, I don't know, something really, really nice. But thank you. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Thanks so much for those words, Javier, and congratulations again. And I do love, one of the best parts of my job is getting to reach out to the individuals and tell them they've received this award. It's hard to get them to answer me sometimes because they think it's spam or they think it's, so now this is not spam and this is not bad news. And please answer. So we'll now move on to the category of graduate students. There were 5 this year, and which actually is a record for graduate students. So we're getting there, graduate students. Let's have even more next year. And the graduate students are Shahryar Tafti, Zach Clark, Brittany Drath, Brianna Hilton, and Amalia Sanchez. And I'm pleased to announce that this year's Dean's Graduate Student Award for Professionalism is awarded to Brianna Hilton. Brianna. Now, this will have you come down and accept your plaque in a moment, Brianna. John Boyson, professor and division chief of surgical research in the Department of Surgery, who nominated Brianna, could not be here today, but Professor Matt Pointer from the Department of Medicine, director of the Vermont Lung Center and director of the Cellular, Molecular, and Biomedical Sciences doctoral program in which Brianna is enrolled, will read Brianna's nomination. Matt and Brianna have worked together on CMB's steering committee, and Matt is also a member of Brianna's dissertation committee. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Pointer.
Thank you, Dr. Page, Dean Page. It's a pleasure to be able to substantiate this nomination on behalf of Dr. Boyson. He and I have worked together for a long, long time, and I've worked with Brianna the whole time that she's been here, from the time that she first interviewed up until today, where I sit on her dissertation committee. Now, I did read over John's nomination, and it pretty much summarizes the same things that I would say about Bree. And that is that the Cellular, Molecular, and Biomedical Sciences program has long upheld 3 pillars: technical, operational, and professional development of our trainees. And all of our students do really well at that, but Brianna truly exemplifies this. How so? Because she's served as a first-year student representative. She has served on the admissions and recruitment committee, and she's served on the steering committee, where she gets to work with other faculty members and represent the voice of the students to those people. And that can be a challenging group to work with. And Brianna has always respectfully and authoritatively represented those students. And it's a real pleasure to see her acknowledged by her PI in this manner. So Bree, congratulations, and thank you for all you do for CMB and for our college.
Lights coming down. We'll get a picture right over here about the
Thank you, everybody for coming. Thank you, Matt, for those really kind words. And I especially want to thank my PI, John, who is actively flying back from Hawaii. So he definitely can't be here right now. But it's been a pleasure working in the CMB program, especially like on the recruitment committee, working with Matt on the steering committee and everything. And it's been a pleasure being a PhD student here. So thank you very much.
Thank you again and congratulations. It's now time to announce the nominees for the Dean's Staff Award for Professionalism. Y'all did a great job. There were 87 this year, a record. And they were, and please hold your applause or we'll be here all day, Gretchen Agravis, Nasheen Azar, Petra Bayuk, Megan Bartlett, Carolyn Berniger, Amanda Broder, Margaret Butler, Ryan Brierly, Colleen Case, Raj Chawla, Elaine Cornell, James Court, Renee Cusick, Tiffany Delaney, Liz Dorman, Megan Farrington, Marlene Frank, Hannah Frering, Erica Fry de la Portas, Christine Galice, Terami Guerin, Rhonda Hanley, Ann Howard, Lindsay Hullfish, Carrie Jukes, Bruce Kimball, Justine King, Miles Lamberson, Kim Lubers, Shirley McAdam, Michelle McKay, Laura Merriam, Lee Meyerhart, Marion Miller, Daniel Mills, Amy Morrill, Brenda Nelson, Layla Pasek, Suzanne Platania, Anna Raymond, Susan Richardson, Sarah Ringler, Christine Rogers, Kelly Sadowitz, Casey Spencer, Jake Spiegler, Carmen Swim, Kirsten Tavares, Jason Towsley, Allison Turner, Sunday Whipke, Gretchen White, and Lisa Wilda. Let's give them a round of applause. I've said before that we can't do anything that we do here without the glue of our college, and that is our wonderful staff. And this year's Dean's Staff Award for Professionalism is awarded to Rhonda Hanley, Student Services Specialist, Department of Family Medicine. Before we bring her down, Dr. Kelly Collier, Assistant Professor in the Department of Family Medicine, is here to share her thoughts and why she nominated Rhonda for this award. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Collier.
Oh my goodness, that's quite the list. Pretty awesome. So I'm Kelly Collier. I'm the Family Medicine Clerkship Director, and I have truly the pleasure of having Rhonda as my amazing teammate and course coordinator. She does so much for the clerkship. There's lots of people from the Family Medicine Department here, but also wears many different hats. She helps with the AI. She works with lots of different staff in the department. And really, it's hard to summarize how much you do and how much we appreciate you, but I'll do my best. Rhonda really demonstrates and exemplifies what it means to take on her role as a model of professionalism and really trying to make sure that students have a high quality and meaningful experience when they're in a clinical setting. She advocates for students to make sure that they are in a safe space. So I've gotten calls from Rhonda about housing not working out and needing to think on our toes to get students in a different situation. Rhonda has brought to my attention situations where students have been misgendered and by their preceptors, and I've been able to then engage our community preceptors in conversations around this. I just can't speak highly enough of what you do and really how you go above and beyond your duties, so thank you. Beyond that, she works with a lot of our clinical sites across the state and is really the bridge between LCOM and a lot of our community sites. So thank you, and just very lucky to have you on the team. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Collier. I now get to present the plaque to Rhonda Hanley, and then we'll ask her to give some remarks. Rhonda?
I definitely should have prepared something. That's just seeing the length of that list up there really got me. Just surrounded by so many excellent people here that really care about what they do. So thank you. Dean Page, the selection committee, all the people that work so hard to create this week and the celebration to bring us together. I appreciate you. I appreciate the family medicine department. They are supportive of my never-ending attempts at quality improvement, even when it gets obnoxiously extreme. They tolerate my Aquarian nature very kindly, and they have patience with me when I fall short. So thank you. They're also just such a lovely group of people. They've been so compassionate and kind through the recent passing of my dad. And I think if my dad were still in his earth suit, he would be quite proud today. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I've got to say, I know there are a lot of people looking down and proud of the people we're acknowledging today. Thank you for that, Rhonda. We're now on to the Dean's Faculty Award for Professionalism. Almost as many, but not quite. We have 84 nominations in this category. And they are, and please hold your applause, Stephen Addis, Daniel Bach, Agnes Bala, Jennifer Bamford, Patrick Bender, Stephen Burns, Richard Bounds, Danielle Brasino, Leanne Burgess, Caleb Doyle Burr, Catherine Chung, Arlene Chung, Ben Clements, Catherine Collier, Jessica Crothers, we're still in the C's, Thomas Delaney, Alyssa DeCosmo, Catherine Dahlbeck, Allison Fitzgerald, Jennifer Gage, Matthew Geeson, Paige Georgiadis, cultural humility here, folks. Thank you. Gasania Goikhberg, Sarah Harm, Abigail Heischler, Karen Hodge, Amelia Hopkins, David Johnson, Alexandra Kaloff, David Kaminsky, Christopher Canner, Joseph Kennedy, Elias Kemperer, Nicholas Klug, Erica Lash, Christina Lisaco, Sean Maloney, Jacob Martin, Ashley McCormick, Laura McCrae, Ann Morris, Samuel Paskin, Sanjeev Patil, John Priester, Lisa Ann Rasmutin, Hiba Tull Raymond, Molly Rideout, Princess Rodriguez, Lee Rosen, John Salagianis, Marie Sandoval, Sameh Scott, Muhammad Sayam, Dhruv Shah, Michael Sheezer, Marnie Slavic, Gary Stein, David Steinmetz, Doug Todges, William Tharp, Alyssa Thomas, Brendan Toms, Aline Vandenbroek Altenberg, Margaret Vizard, Wakar Wahid, Kramer Wahlberg, Brian Waldschmidt, John Wax, Ash Wiseman, Jim Whitledge, Dan Wolfson, and Beth Zygmunt. Let's give them a round of applause. Every one of those individuals, every individual I've read aloud today had at least one person say, that is someone I ought to acknowledge for their professionalism. Just think of the amount of effort that goes into it, but also the amount of sunshine and joy that you provided. 84 this time, faculty can up their game. Faculty and staff, I'm looking for the first 100 nominations, and I'll take a throat lozenge to get through them next time. So this year, the Faculty Award for Professionalism is awarded to Dr. Allison Fitzgerald, Assistant Professor of Medicine in the Department of Medicine. The person who nominated Dr. Fitzgerald wished to remain anonymous, but gave us permission to share their submission. Dr. Kristen Pierce, Professor of Medicine and Microbiology and Molecular Genetics, and Vice Chair for Academic Affairs in the Department of Medicine's Division of Infectious Diseases, will share this nomination. Dr. Pierce, would you join us, please? And you won the award, right? That's and a prior award winner, Dr. Pierce.
So congratulations to all the winners. It's amazing to see all those names up there. I did not write this nomination, but it is a huge honor to read the nomination for an outstanding faculty member and person in general. So since September 2024, Dr. Fitzgerald has served as the interim chief for the Division of Nephrology. During this time, the division faced significant challenges, including the closure of surgical renal transplant program and the sale of dialysis centers due to mandated cuts. This was an extraordinary blow to the division, yet Dr. Fitzgerald stepped into leadership with compassion and understanding. She organized a retreat focused on problem solving and morale building, providing much needed support to junior and senior faculty members struggling with unprecedented changes and uncertainties. Dr. Fitzgerald has led with curiosity and integrity, epitomizing cultural humility, kindness, and respect. Her dedication to professionalism has been a cornerstone of her career since her medical school days. She has served as the faculty preceptor for the Professionalism, Communication, and Reflection course for 7 years, mentoring nearly 40 students. Additionally, she's been a member of the Medical Wellness Committee for 7 years and has chaired and continues to serve on the Practitioner Health and Advocacy Committee at the University of Vermont Medical Center. Dr. Fitzgerald's exceptional dedication to supporting professionalism and wellness at the Larner College of Medicine is unparalleled. She embodies the characteristics of professionalism that we aspire to in our institution. Her leadership, compassion, and unwavering commitment to her colleagues and students make her a deserving candidate for the Professionalism Award. Congratulations.
So I told Vicky I wasn't going to say anything. So I hope it's not unprofessional of me to have changed my first. I think I need a new picture. That's pretty old. But before I do have something to say, but I would like to reminisce on the day I got the call from Dean Page as well. I was on service and I was getting ready and I was running late and I was kind of like, oh God, I'm getting paged before I'm having to be at work. Let me see who it is and I'll send them a quick secure chat and tell them I'll be, call them in 20 minutes. And then I see the name Richard Page and I'm just thinking, resident, student. And so I go into the listing and I'm like, who is this? I don't know who this is. And the only Richard Page in all of UVM is you. And I thought, why am I being called? So you caught me really off guard. So that was awesome. I appreciated that. But I guess what I want to say otherwise is I've been here a very long time. I've been here since I was a medical student, and many of you have been my teachers over the years or colleagues. And I love UVM. As many of you also know, I was not only a medical student, I did the pathology fellowship. I started as an anesthesia resident. I switched to internal medicine, and then I did the nephrology fellowship, and I've always loved being here. And I am truly humbled looking at that list of people who have taught me and have worked with me for many years to have been chosen for this. There's a quote from a book that I'm sure you all know that I read in high school and have read a couple times since, For Whom the Bell Tolls. And the quote in the beginning is by John Donne, and I'm not going to recite the whole quote because it's quite long, and I'm even going to get the last line wrong, but it's basically, ask not for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. And that has been a background mantra, I guess, through all my years in medicine with patients, kind of sick patients in the middle of the night and et cetera. And I, in the last few years, have come to sort of also hear that quote in my head in dealing with any situation and in the way that I interact with people. Maybe not sometimes in the middle of the night, if there are any medical students in here who have paged me sometimes, not always holding that to the highest standard, but it is something that I do hold. It's always in the back of my mind, and I'm extremely appreciative of this award and humbled. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fitzgerald. I love making those calls. I didn't know it was freaking people out exactly the way it does, but it really, you know, it's kind of like a nomination or whatever to get the opportunity to kind of share that news with someone who's so deserving. I get to read the recommendation and then to connect the voice with the testimonial that's been provided is really darn amazing. Some of you may have seen Dr. Stearns's, I got the name, it took me a long time to pronounce that name, Dr. Stearns's talk yesterday. He's a scholar in professionalism. And I always learn when I listen to someone who's spent significant amounts of time thinking of this concept and development of professional identity. And he goes around and gives talks. And I don't believe he was just saying it because he was here. He said of all the places he's talked about professionalism, if anybody is going to get it right, it would be the Larner College of Medicine. And isn't that special? And I think he's right. I think it's pretty darn amazing to have this room filled and to have 217 different individuals representing at least 217 nominations for how they embody the core values of our community. So let's give every single nominee a round of applause, or if not, I'm going to name them again. So and like the Oscars, I don't say these are the winners. Every one of those 217 are winners. But let's acknowledge the awardees, just 4 of them, for their accomplishment and what they bring to our college. So we've been doing this for 6 years. This is the 7th year we've celebrated professionalism at our college. That includes here, all of us here in Vermont now, those online, our wonderful Connecticut campus, where likewise the awardees have continued and nominees have continued to come. As we celebrate a culture that includes kindness, culture, humility, and respect. Let's keep that in our hearts as we go through some tough times. And if you want to just remember something nice, hopefully it's not just my phone call, but the fact that we're all here together celebrating something that's good and real in us, in our lives. So the party isn't over. We've got a reception in the Hale Gallery. I'll mention we're still collecting items for Rally Cat's cupboard to prevent food insecurity. There are postcards around. It's not too late to just take 2 minutes and fill out a postcard and have it delivered to one of your colleagues, just acknowledging their professionalism and the fact that you acknowledge that. Thank you so much for being here today. Stay well and hope to see you in the Hale Gallery. Thank you.